Patriots fans, listen up, because today we've got a mix of news coming out of Foxborough. Some of it's exciting, some of it's not exactly what we wanted, but all of it matters if you care about this team and the direction it's headed. Now, we're not going to sugarcoat anything. We're diving straight into what's going down with this roster, and let me tell you, things are already getting spicy, and we're still in the offseason. Buckle up. Let's start where things are getting a little shaky, and that's on the offensive line, specifically the left guard position. And if you've been following closely, you already know that this has quietly been one of the biggest storylines for the Patriots. Even if the national media would rather focus on the wide receivers, quarterbacks, or, any flashy skill position. But real fans? We know the trenches are where games are won and lost. And right now, that left guard spot is looking more like a question mark than anything else. Now here's where it gets tricky. One of the guys that many believe could make a strong push for that spot, rookie lineman Layden Robinson, is sidelined. The word is that it's an injury situation, but the team hasn't disclosed what exactly is going on. All we know is he's been out, he's not participating in drills, and time is ticking. For a young player trying to make his mark, especially one who was projected as a versatile interior option, this isn't ideal. In fact, it sets him back in a big way. The whole point of minicamp and OTAs is to get reps, to absorb the playbook, to build chemistry with the unit. And if you're not on the field, you're falling behind. Now, I know what some people might be thinking. It's early, it's not that big of a deal. Well, let me push back on that. When you're a rookie, when you're fighting for a spot, every rep counts. You're not just trying to get good. You're trying to beat out other guys who've been in the system, who have experience, and who already have a leg up. That's not easy. So yeah, it's not catastrophic news, but it's definitely not what you want to hear if you were hoping Robinson would be in the mix for a starting job this year. And look, it's not like the left guard position is locked down either. Cole Strange is the name that keeps popping up, and while there's been hope around his development, it's fair to say his performance has been up and down. One moment, he's showing flashes of why the team picked him. The next, he's getting pushed around by top-tier interior defenders. That inconsistency? That's a problem, especially when you've got a young quarterback who needs clean pockets to develop and gain confidence. Now add to that the fact that another interior lineman, Michael Onwenu, is firmly planted at right guard, which is great because that's where he thrives. But it means that Strange or someone else really needs to claim that left guard spot with authority. And right now, there's no clear answer. Veteran lineman Alex Redmond retired, so the depth chart just got thinner. The options are shrinking, and the urgency is growing. But let's rewind a bit and focus back on Robinson for a moment. When he was drafted, a lot of fans were excited because he brought versatility. He had the size, the toughness, and the resume to compete at multiple spots: center, right guard, left guard. That kind of flexibility is gold in today's NFL, especially for a team like the Patriots that often ask players to shift around based on matchups and injury needs. So losing that development time early on, it matters. Now, could he be ready by training camp? Sure, and hopefully that's the case. The team hasn't ruled him out, and if this is something minor, he might still have a shot to fight for a starting job when the pads go on. But that's a big if. Missing OTAs and minicamp doesn't doom a player, but it does mean the margin for error in camp gets smaller. The coaching staff will be watching closely, and if someone else steps up in the meantime, Robinson might find himself relegated to a backup role, at least for now. And to be clear, that wouldn't be the end of the world. Having depth on the offensive line is crucial, and Robinson could still be a valuable rotational piece or even develop into a starter down the line. But in terms of being ready out of the gate, that's looking less and less likely with each day he spends on the sideline. And again, we're still waiting for details on what exactly the injury is, so we're in a bit of holding pattern. But let me flip the script a bit here, because it's not all gloom and doom. There's actually some exciting news coming out of the Patriots organization, and it has to do with a new face joining the front office. The team just added Cam McCormick as a scouting assistant. And if you're a diehard college football fan, that name might ring a bell. Because Cam isn't just some random addition. His story is wild. This is a guy who played 9 years of college football. Yes, you heard that right, 9. That's almost unheard of. He started at Oregon, went through injury after injury, stuck with it, then finished his career at Miami. He used every red shirt, every medical exemption, and even benefited from the COVID eligibility extension. He kept coming back year after year, grinding through rehab after rehab, fighting to stay on the field. And through all that, he built a reputation as one of the most respected locker room leaders in college football. Now, you might be wondering, why is this relevant? Why does this matter for the Patriots? Well, let me break it down for you. McCormick might not have been a household name on the field, but off the field, he's got exactly the kind of character and mindset that fits the Patriots mold. He's resilient. He's team first. He's respected. And in a role like scouting assistant, those traits matter more than you might think. See, this isn't just about evaluating talent. It's about relationships. It's about being able to walk into a college program, connect with players, coaches, and staff, and represent the Patriots brand in a way that draws people in. That kind of presence, that kind of authenticity, it's rare. And McCormick brings it in spades. Plus, consider this. As a guy who's been around for nearly a decade of college football, McCormick has built relationships all over the country. Oregon, Miami, and countless other schools he crossed paths with during his career. He knows people. And those connections could pay off big time when it comes to uncovering hidden gems, especially in the undrafted free agent market. If a young player hears that Cam McCormick is vouching for New England, that might carry more weight than you think. And let's not forget the impact of representation. When you send someone like McCormick to talk to prospects, someone who's lived it, who's been through adversity, who's battled and come out the other side, that resonates. Players listen. Families listen. Coaches respect that. He's not some suit with a clipboard. He's been in the trenches. He knows what it takes, and he brings a level of credibility that you can't teach. So while this might seem like a small move on the surface, it could turn out to be a smart, strategic addition for the Patriots. McCormick is just getting started, sure, but you get the sense that he's the kind of person who's going to rise quickly. He's got the drive, the humility, and the experience to thrive in a front office setting. And honestly, it's just cool to see a guy who gave everything to the game now taking the next step in his football journey. And let's be real, how many people can say they played nearly a decade of major college football, earned both a bachelor's and a master's degree, and then landed a job with one of the most storied franchises in the NFL? That's a rare path. That's dedication. That's grit. And that's the kind of story that makes football so compelling. Not just what happens on the field, but the journeys behind the scenes that shape a team's culture and future. So yeah, on one hand, you've got the uncertainty around the offensive line and the setback with Layden Robinson. That's a challenge. But on the other, you've got a fresh, young mind like Cam McCormick stepping into the building. Someone who might not make headlines today, but who could help shape the next generation of Patriots talent from behind the scenes. And when you step back and look at the big picture, that's what this time of year is all about. Building, adjusting, preparing for the grind ahead. Because soon enough, it's going to be training camp. The pads are going to come on, the real evaluations will begin, and all these storylines will start to unfold in real time. And every decision made now, every role filled, every position battle taking shape, it's all setting the stage for what's to come. Now, I want to throw a question out there, because this part's for you, the fans. Where do you stand on Layden Robinson's chances this year? I know opinions are split. Some people are all in, thinking he's a potential future starter who could overtake someone like Cole Strange or even challenge for center if needed. Others feel like he's more of a depth piece right now, someone who needs a year or two to develop before stepping into a major role. And you know what? Both views are fair. This is the NFL. Development curves aren't always linear, and not everyone's going to come in and dominate their rookie year. But potential? It's there. The question is whether he'll have enough time and health to tap into it before someone else cements the spot he's aiming for. That's why this training camp is going to be massive, not just for Robinson, but for the whole offensive line. The Patriots have a young quarterback in Drake May, and whether he's starting week 1 or sitting behind Jacoby Brissett, the line has to hold. Protection is non-negotiable. You want May to develop into the guy everyone hopes he can be? Then you better keep him upright. You can have all the receivers in the world, but if the interior line is breaking down, none of that matters. So yeah, it's early, but the stakes are already high. And speaking of development, that brings us right back to Cam McCormick. Because what makes his addition so intriguing isn't just his story, is what it represents for this organization. The Patriots have always valued character, leadership, football IQ, things that don't always show up on a stat sheet, but absolutely show up on Sundays. Adding someone like Cam into the scouting pipeline is a clear sign that New England still believes in building from within, trusting people who know the grind, who've lived through adversity, and who bring a different kind of perspective to the table. It also speaks to the long game the Patriots are playing. This isn't just about 2025. This is about building a structure that can identify and develop talent for years to come. Whether it's late-round gems, undrafted free agents, or just finding guys who fit the system, these hires matter. They create the foundation. And Cam could absolutely be one of those behind-the-scenes figures who quietly becomes a huge asset for the team. Give it time. I think he's going to be someone we're all talking about a lot more a year or two from now. But hey, that's just my take. Let me know what you think. Is Robinson ready to compete for a starting spot this year? Or does he need more time in the oven? And what about Cam? Do you see value in adding someone like him to the scouting team? Or do you think I'm reading too much into it? Drop a comment. I want to hear your thoughts because this fan base, you guys are smart. You know your football. And these conversations are what keep the off-season exciting. As always, I appreciate every single one of you tuning in. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button, drop a like if you're feeling it, and check out the giveaway in the description below. We've got some fresh gear for June. Mayday May hoodies, hats, the works, and I want to make sure you've got a shot to win one. That's it for now, but we've got more coming soon. Training camps just around the corner, and you know we're going to break it all down. Until then, stay locked in, stay loud, and go Pats. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to Patriots Hub and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our New England Patriots. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are swirling in the NFL world as Ja'Marr Chase's name surfaces in connection with a potential blockbuster move to the New England Patriots. The wide receiver, known for his explosive plays and dynamic presence on the field, could bring an immediate and seismic impact to a Patriots offense that has been searching for a game-changer. While nothing is confirmed yet, the mere possibility of Chase landing in New England has set off a frenzy among fans and analysts alike, igniting hopes for a new era under the Patriots banner. Ja'Marr Chase, who has dazzled since his rookie season, is widely regarded as one of the league's most electrifying talents. His ability to stretch defenses, create separation, and make highlight reel catches makes him a coveted asset for any team looking to elevate its aerial attack. For the Patriots, whose offense has struggled with consistency in recent years, acquiring a player of Chase's caliber could be the spark that transforms their unit into a legitimate contender once more. Insiders suggest that the Patriots see Chase not only as a top-tier receiver, but also as a cornerstone around which they can rebuild and rebrand their offense. With a talented quarterback in Mac Jones, the addition of a receiver like Chase could open up new possibilities, forcing defenses to adjust and creating opportunities for the entire offense to thrive. The synergy between Jones's precision passing and Chase's explosive speed and hands could redefine how the Patriots approach their game plan. Of course, the road to securing a player of Ja'Marr Chase's stature would not be easy. Trade negotiations, salary cap considerations, and the willingness of other teams to part with their prized assets all come into play. But the mere rumor of the Patriots' interest has already energized the fan base and sparked heated discussions about what such a move could mean for the future of the franchise. Beyond the immediate on-field impact, Chase's arrival could also send a powerful message to the rest of the league. It would signal that New England is serious about reclaiming its spot among the NFL elite and willing to make bold moves to do so. The Patriots, once the gold standard of dominance under Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, have been in a rebuilding phase. Adding a game-changing talent like Chase might be the catalyst that propels them back into the spotlight. As the rumor mill churns, all eyes remain on how this potential blockbuster might unfold. Will the Patriots take the plunge and secure a player who could revolutionize their offense? Or will this remain an intriguing what-if scenario in an off-season filled with speculation? One thing is certain. The possibility of Ja'Marr Chase joining New England has already injected a fresh wave of excitement and anticipation into the NFL landscape. Fans and pundits alike will be watching closely, waiting to see if this promising rumor transforms into a game-changing reality. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our New England Patriots, be sure to subscribe to Patriots Hub and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.